Chapter 19, Something's Wrong with the Body. The deputy director put down the document in his hand and asked the secretary, "Do you know the details?" The secretary nodded, lowered his voice, and said, "Before this, someone already talked to the commissioner, hoping that he would convince the station to let go of those young masters, but the director didn't agree. His reason was that those spoiled brats humiliated our patrol officers, and the director meant that patrol officers are police officers too, and the branch bureau did send over convincing evidence showing what happened from beginning to end. Besides, the impact of this incident was quite big, so considering the reputation of the police station, we cannot privately deal with it but let it go through the due process." The deputy director sighed, and then he asked the secretary, "Get me the information of the patrol officer that was involved in this matter." According to his understanding of the director, things like this would usually reach him before the director, let alone the director personally dealing with it. Something was a bit strange. Immediately, he got up and went to the director's office. After knocking on the door, the muscular middle-aged man in the mirror put down his mirror and smiled at him, saying, "Need me for something?" The deputy director smiled as well. "Very strange that you would protect a little patrol officer that just got on the job. You are overthinking it. Since the whole thing was exposed and the patrol officer was in the right, no one can deliberately be biased towards anyone. Those that should be detained should be detained." "I understand." The deputy nodded. Such a straightforward tone, it would be odd if there's nothing strange about it. This patrol officer definitely came from a big background. At dusk, when Su Cheng was too lazy to take off the uniform and went to dinner in it, Ran Jing asked in curiosity, "You are really a police officer? It's a crime to impersonate a police officer." Su Cheng glanced at her, giving her the no-shit Sherlock eye. Shen Yao's voice suddenly floated over, "You should go be a traffic cop instead." Ran Jing nodded, "I agree." Su Cheng chewed on a slice of meat. "Why?" "Shen Yao, because of your iron face and selfless character. You can see a pretty girl and still give her a ticket, and then you will get promoted after you consistently overachieve the quota." Su Cheng almost choked on the meat. Just then, a subtle but annoying buzz sound came to his ear. Su Cheng frowned, and from the corner of his eye, he saw a fly. With a pew, he caught the fly mid-flight with his chopsticks. Both women were shocked by his sudden move, and when they subconsciously looked at the chopsticks, they were both dumbfounded, seeing the fly. Su Cheng also successfully shocked himself. He looked at his hand, and then recalled what he just did. Needless to say, the speed of his hand was incredibly quick. Ew, disgusting. Shen Yao was clearly a spoiled kid that was also germophobic, and she complained after seeing that Su Cheng caught a fly. Su Cheng let go of the fly and looked at his hand as if his mind was out of it. That speed! It was indeed very quick, even faster than his speed from back when he was at the pinnacle stage of Tier A. However, wasn't the genetic fluid injected into his body causing some blockage which resulted in a drop in his physical capabilities? He also didn't feel anything different ever since then, but his speed just now did shock him. Ran Jing was also very shocked by Su Cheng's sudden strike on the fly. The speed was comparable to wind. She didn't even see when Su Cheng moved his hand, and when she looked up with Shen Yao, they already saw Su Cheng holding the pose, "Oh hey, I caught this fly." Just when she decided to go back to eating, Su Cheng moved again and resumed that pose. Ran Jing and Shen Yao saw the same fly getting caught between the two chopsticks again, completely alive with its wings still flapping. It might also be having an existential crisis right now. Su Cheng immediately put down his chopsticks. Unable to wrap his head around what was happening, he just got up. "Gonna go to work now." He wiped his mouth, got up, got his hat, and left right away. Ran Jing was just looking at his back image dumbfoundedly, completely stunned by his consecutive catching of the fly. How the heck did he do that? Su Cheng got into the elevator and looked at his right hand. He threw a punch in the air, but the speed wasn't there anymore. Could it just be the power of my subconscious? Su Cheng was doubtful. Just then, although his elevator already began descending, he could still hear the two girls' voice. "Shen Yao, how many years does he have to be single to be able to achieve a speed this fast? For a virgin like him, aren't you afraid that he won't be able to resist and rape us one day?" Ran Jing, just like a cow pulling a plow, only the cow can die from overworking, not the farm. "There are two of us, don't worry." In the elevator, Su Cheng didn't know whether he should cry or laugh. Was it just girls that were perverted, or was it that the prettier the girl was, the naughtier they were on the inside? What was wrong with this world? Then, don't know why, but Su Cheng's ears became even more sensitive and began picking up some other noise while he was still in the elevator. Brother Bao, do you know which unit he lives in or not? This condo is so big, how long is it going to take if we check one by one? Don't worry, I already did my research. Didn't get anything, but I know he's in this condo, so we just have to wait by the elevator. It's almost time for his shift. But he's a police officer, someone was worried. So what? He's just a patrol officer, what are you scared of? Just put a bag over his head and then beat the shit out of him. Then, if he doesn't let out young Master Yun tonight, we will give him more color to see when he goes patrolling later. Don't leave behind any evidence, we can't let them find out that our boss is involved. Police? Patrol officer? Aren't they talking about my handsome face? Su Cheng's sensitive hearing picked up those keywords, and just as the elevator was nearing the first floor, he pressed the third floor right away and got out. As he walked, he could hear all kinds of noise and chatter from the units all around him. He didn't know why, but there seemed to be something wrong with his ear, as he suddenly felt that the world was very noisy. Even as he passed by the washrooms in the corridor, he could clearly hear the water droplets. Just as he was about to go take the stairs down, he heard those bunch of people talking again. Brother Bao, what if he takes the stairs? Don't worry, I had Lao-san, Ma Liu, and the others guard the stairs. Unless this guy isn't going to work, he will be caught for sure. Once you guys spot him, don't act rashly. Report his location first. Su Chen stopped in his steps, and from the top of the rotating stairs, he could see that there were indeed 3 to 5 people with dyed hair waiting down there on the first floor.